If you want to design a garden, you first need to understand its purpose. Why are you creating this garden? What will it be used for? Is it a place to use, or is it a place to look at, or both? Usable gardens are functional gardens. Some gardens, though, exist only to create an aesthetic, or mostly to create an aesthetic, that is, to decorate the landscape. Whatever the purpose, though, gardens do need care. Some types of gardens need a lot of attention regularly, while others only need minimal attention. Lawns need to be mown, but then gardens can also be created without lawns. Gardens with less or no lawn may be easier to maintain, but not necessarily. Annual flower beds need weeding and replanting routinely, but a garden that is more natural, using long-lived plants, doesn't need that level of attention. There's one other factor that impacts garden design decisions in a big way. That's the cost of creating the garden. Some gardens are much more costly to create than others, particularly when you choose to include costly structures. The cost of building a garden will be much higher when you choose to make more significant changes to the existing landscape. Building a garden to suit the existing ground levels, soil and other environmental conditions will be cheaper to create and probably cheaper to maintain. Some materials will always cost more as well. Paving, for example, may cost more per square metre than a garden bed or lawn. Some types of paving materials are a lot more expensive than other paving materials. Planting larger plants may cost more than planting smaller ones and then waiting for them to grow. Let's look at the functionality and aesthetics more. There are a lot of simple tricks that can be applied. Start planning a garden by considering key points on the property, places you go to or through frequently. These will include doors and gates, driveways, perhaps a rubbish bin, letterbox, pathway, washing line, or any other area which you're going to find yourself visiting or walking through frequently. When you move from one of these key points to another, you're travelling along an axis line. When you look out of a window to a key point, you are looking along an axis line. Those axis lines are the lines the garden should be designed around. Consider what will be found at the end of an axis line. These endpoints should be destinations, something to go to or look towards. It may be a piece of artwork to look at, or a place to go to and sit. If you obscure or partially block an axis, you create a sense of mystery, but also reduce the functionality because a person cannot see clearly the entire journey. That isn't necessarily a problem. It may be desirable. But hiding or revealing anything through a garden design should be done purposefully. Features at the end of an axis can be enhanced by framing the view. This may be done by planting either side along the axis. The end of a path might not even be visible, but if the planting is enticing you to move forward, the destination will then naturally reveal at the end. An axis can also be framed by a roof or growing plants above a pathway. Gardens are built with two very different components: the soft landscaping and the hard landscaping. The soft landscaping are living things, the plants that grow and change constantly, causing significant change from year to year and across the seasons. The other component is the hard landscaping, which are the non-living components. These don't change so much though. They provide a framework by setting in place and defining different areas with paving, walls, fences, garden buildings, and even by setting levels. Water can add even yet another dimension to a garden. It can reflect light, create noise when it splashes, and cool the air. When used appropriately in good design, water can transform a garden. Garden design is a complex but immensely rewarding field of study which requires application of both art and science. If it's your passion, it's an addictive pursuit which will continue to offer new challenges and opportunities for your entire life. You may work in garden or it may be a hobby. Either way, people who get involved in building gardens can spend their entire lives creating gardens, and very few ever regret the path they followed.